Hello friends, in the previous video we learnt about liquidity ratios. In this video we will see some important problems. So all the problems that we have solved in this video are all illustrations from your book. So please, in case of any doubts, please go and refer your book also. So in this question, the question asks us to find out current ratio and quick ratio, and the question also gives us few details. Like it is given, current investments is given, inventory is given, trade receivables, short term borrowings, bank OD, trade payables, prepaid expenses, short term provisions, other current liabilities, short term loans and advances, tangible fixed assets, cash equivalents, advance tax. So some details like this it is given, and they have asked us to find out current ratio and quick ratio. So current ratio, you already know the formula. It is current assets divided by current liabilities. Current assets. So what are the items that has to be included in current assets from this? Current investments have to be included. Inventories have to be included. Trade receivables has to be included. Short-term borrowings will not be included. Trade payables not included. Prepaid expenses have to be included. Short-term provisions, it will not be included. Other current liabilities will also be not included. Short-term loans and advances, these are loans and advances given by the company to outside parties. So they are current assets, it has to be included. Tangible fixed assets will not be included. Cash and cash equivalents will be included, and advance tax will be included. So all of this has to be added. That is what is done in this step, and we get current assets equal to rupees 71,000. Same way for current liabilities, short term borrowings have to be included, then trade payables will be included, short term provisions will be included, other current liabilities will be included, all the others will not be included. So it is included here, and we have current liabilities is equal to 30,500. So we know current assets and we also know current liabilities. With that we can find the current ratio, which is 2.33:1. So one of the questions is solved. We have the answer for current ratio. This is a fairly good ratio because it is close to the ideal ratio, which is 2:1. Now we will move on to find out quick ratio. For finding quick ratio, we need quick assets and current liabilities. Current liabilities we already found out in the previous subdivision itself. So we will take the same value for current liabilities. Now for quick assets, we have to compute quick assets is equal to current assets minus inventories minus prepaid expenses minus advance tax. We also had another exclusion, that is accrued income. Here there is no accrued income, so we don't have accrued income that has to be deducted. So the remaining things, inventory, prepaid expenses and advance tax, it is deducted from current assets, and we have quick assets is equal to rupees 56,000. So with these details we can easily find out quick ratio, which will be 1.84:1. So this is how we have computed quick ratio and current ratio in this problem. This is a fairly simple and a direct problem that has given you all the details, and with this direct details you have to just substitute in the formula and find out the answer. We will move on to the next problem. This problem is illustration 13.4. We will first look into the first subdivision and then we will come back to subdivision B. So this says a company had current assets of rupees 4 lakh and current liabilities of rupees 1 lakh. Afterwards, it purchased goods for rupees 50,000 on credit. Calculate the current ratio after the purchase. So the question is asking us to find out current ratio after the purchase. And what do we need for finding current ratio after the purchase? We need current assets after the purchase and current liabilities after the purchase. But what is given in the question? They have given current assets before the purchase and current liabilities before the purchase of goods. So we have to compute what will be the current assets and current liabilities after the purchase of goods. So first, current assets before purchase is given, which is rupees 4 lakh, and purchase of goods is for 50,000 on credit. It has to be noted that goods are purchased on credit. They are not purchased for cash. So there will be no cash outflow. It will only have an inflow of inventory. So that is what will happen to current assets. Current assets after purchase will be 4 lakh that we already had, plus 50,000 of goods will get added. 50,000 rupees worth of goods will get added to current assets. So we have a current asset balance of 4,50,000. And for current liabilities before purchase, it is already given in question, which is rupees 1 lakh. And what will be added to that 1 lakh? 50,000 of trade payables. Because we are purchasing goods on credit, creditors worth of 50,000 will have to be added to current liabilities. So we have current liabilities is equal to rupees 1,50,000. Now that we have both current assets and liabilities after purchase of goods, we can directly go and find out current ratio, which is 4,50,000 divided by 1,50,000, which will be 3:1. Now we'll move on to the subdivision B. So this says current liabilities of a company were 60,000 and its current ratio was 2.5:1. After this, it paid rupees 20,000 to trade payables. Calculate current ratio after the payment. Here also the same thing. For finding out current ratio, we need current assets and current liabilities. They have given current liabilities of a company, that is before the payment. So current assets before the payment have to be computed. We know from this formula, we can if current ratio is given and current liabilities is given, we can find out current assets, right? So current assets is nothing but current ratio into current liabilities. So we already know that current ratio is 2.5:1. So 2.5 into 60,000 will give current assets, which is rupees 1,50,000. So we have to compute current assets after payment to trade payables. So what will go out? Cash will go out for paying to trade payables. So 1,50,000 minus 20,000 of cash, which has to be paid to creditors, which will go out, and then the remaining will be the current assets, which is 1,30,000. Now current liabilities before payment to trade payables we have in the question itself, which is 60,000, and from that we have to reduce 20,000 rupees that is paid to creditors. So that will be less, and we have current liabilities of 40,000. So current ratio will be 1,30,000 divided by 40,000. We have current ratio of 3.25:1. I hope this problem is clear. Now we'll move on to the next problem. This is illustration 13.7. In this question, the current ratio of a company is 2:1. State giving reasons which of the following transactions would improve, reduce or not alter the current ratio. So current ratio, friends, is current assets by current liabilities. So we have to see for each of the case that is given here, we have to see if this will increase the current ratio or will reduce the current ratio, or it does not have any impact on the current ratio. So now, just for our understanding, the current ratio is given as 2:1. So to understand better, it is assumed that current assets are 2 lakh and current liabilities are 1 lakh. With this numbers, we will be able to understand the problem better. So first case is repayment of a current liability. So they are in the question, they are repaying a current liability. Suppose a current liability amounting to rupees 50,000 is repaid. Then what will happen in the current ratio? Current assets has to be reduced by the 50,000 because cash will be going out. So there will be reduction in current assets. Then current liability also has to be reduced because they are repaying a current liability. So current liability has to be reduced by 50,000. So we have 1,50,000 as current assets and 50,000 as current liability. So the ratio becomes 3:1, whereas previously we had ratio of 2:1. Therefore, what has happened to the current ratio? Current ratio has improved or it has increased. Now the second case is purchasing goods on credit. So they are not purchasing goods on for cash, they are purchasing goods for credit. So goods of 25,000 is purchased on credit. So then what happens? Current assets have to be increased by 25,000 because inventory comes in, and current liabilities have to be increased by 25,000 because trade payables are also created because you have purchased on credit. So what happens to the current assets? It becomes 2,25,000 and current liability becomes 1,25,000. The ratio becomes 1.8:1. Previously the ratio was 2:1, so current ratio is reduced. Now we'll move on to the third case. Sale of an office equipment for rupees 4,000 and the book value of that particular equipment had been 5,000. So something that is worth 5,000 is being sold for 4,000 rupees. So what happens? 4,000 rupees of cash will get increased in current assets. There will be no other effect since office equipment is a fixed asset. See, for current ratio we only take into account current assets and current liabilities. So office equipment being a fixed asset will not have any other impact than just cash being increased for the sale. So what happens? Current assets gets increased by 4,000 rupees and current liability remain the same. The ratio becomes 2.04:1. So the ratio has improved. We'll move on to the next case. Sale of goods for rupees 11,000, cost being 10,000. So 10,000 worth of goods is being sold for 11,000. So what happens, friends? Inventory gets reduced but cash gets increased. What is the net increase? 10,000 worth of goods is sold for 11,000. So the net increase will be 1,000 rupees, which will be added to current assets. That is what is explained here. 2,000 rupees is the current assets that we previously had, and then 11,000 rupees will get added to current assets because cash is added, and then inventory gets reduced by 10,000 rupees divided by current liabilities. There will be no change in current liability, it remains the same. So 2,01,000 divided by 1 lakh will give 2.01:1. So what has happened? Current ratio has improved from 2:1, it has improved to 2.01:1. Now we'll move to the last case, which is payment of dividend already declared. So what happens? Dividend is company usually declares dividend. So after declaring dividend, the company will take some time to pay that dividend. So now what has happened is the company had already previously declared dividend. So that particular declared dividend is paid by the company. So suppose, let's just assume that the proposed dividend amounting to 10,000 rupees is included in current liabilities. It will now be paid off. So what happens to current assets? Cash will reduce by the same amount. So what happens? Current assets will get reduced by cash. Rupees 10,000 rupees will be reduced from current assets, and from the liabilities, proposed dividend of 10,000 rupees becomes nil now because we have paid that proposed dividend. So that has to be reduced. So current assets becomes 1,90,000, current liability becomes 90,000, and the ratio becomes 2.11:1. So current ratio has improved. So this is how for different cases you have to make sure that you are comfortable and confident for each of the case. If the ratio will increase, decrease, or this or a case does not affect the current ratio at all. So likewise, you have to imagine a number, put those numbers into current assets, liabilities, and imagine a case. Then you will be able to find solutions for cases like these. We'll move on to the next sum. This illustration is 15C. Working capital of a company is rupees 30,000 and current ratio is 2.5 is to 1. They are asking us to find out current assets, current liabilities and asset test ratio. Asset test ratio is what? Asset test ratio is quick ratio. And they have also given an additional information, which is inventories is assumed to be 26,000. Okay. Now what is working capital? Friends, working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. So this is the formula for working capital. Please make a note of it. Working capital is nothing but current assets minus current liabilities. So in the question, they have given the working capital to be 30,000 and they have given the current ratio. Current ratio is current assets by current liabilities. So with this, we have to find out current assets. How do we do that? Current ratio is 2.5 is to 1. So based on this ratio, can we tell that working capital will be 2.5 minus 1, which is 1.5, because they have given, if current ratio is 2.5 is to 1, it means current assets are 2.5 and current liability is 1. So substituting the same in working capital formula, we can tell that current assets, which is 2.5 minus 1, will be the working capital. So working capital is 1.5. So if working capital is 1.5, current assets are 2.5. If working capital is rupees 30,000, what will be the current assets? This is proportion, so we are using direct proportion here. If working capital is 1.5, current assets is 2.5. If working capital is 30,000, what will be the current assets? Current assets will be 50,000. So we have arrived our answer for the first subdivision. We will move on to the next subdivision. They are asking us to find out current liabilities. So we know the working capital, we know the current assets. So it's going to be easy finding out current liability, which is the missing one in this formula. Current liability is, so the amount is substituted here and current liability comes out to be rupees 20,000. Next we have to find out the quick ratio. Quick ratio is nothing but liquid assets or quick assets divided by current liabilities. They have given that inventory is assumed to be 26,000. So what is liquid assets? Friends, we already know liquid asset is equal to current asset minus inventories. We have another three exclusions also, but in this question, because they have not given the other three exclusions, just consider inventory alone. So we already know current assets are 50,000. So from 50,000 we have to reduce inventory that is given in the question, which is 26,000. We get liquid asset is equal to 24,000. Now we can easily find out the asset test ratio, which is quick assets by current liability, and then we have the answer, which is 1.2 is to 1 is the asset test ratio. Okay, now this question is done. We will move on to the next question. In the next question, which is 13.22, the ratio of current assets, they have given the amount of current assets itself. Okay, so rupees 6 lakh is the current assets and 4 lakh is the current liabilities, and they are telling that current asset is to current liabilities, that is current ratio is 1.5 is to 1. Okay. The accountant of the firm is interested in maintaining a current ratio of 2 is to 1. Okay. By paying off a part of the current liabilities. So the accountant wants to maintain a ratio of 2 is to 1, but how does he do that? He is doing that by paying a part of current liabilities. Compute the amount of current liabilities that should be paid so that the current ratio is maintained at the level of 2 is to 1. Okay, fine. In this question, they have given us the current assets, which is rupees 6 lakh, and they have given us current liabilities, which is 4 lakh, and they have also given us the current ratio 1.5 is to 1. They are also telling us that the accountant wants to maintain a ratio of 2 is to 1 as current ratio. So for doing that, he is repaying a part of current liabilities. We have to find out how much of current liabilities have to be paid so that current ratio is maintained at the level of 2 is to 1. Firstly, just imagine this case. If current liabilities have to be paid, then what will be the result? Current liabilities will get reduced and current assets will also get reduced, because you have, for meeting out current liabilities or for repaying current liabilities, we have to use only current assets. So what happens, there will be a reduction both in the amount of current assets as well as current liabilities. The amount will be the same, right? So let us assume that the amount of current liabilities that has to be paid is equal to X. Current ratio, we know current assets by current liabilities. So what happens, current ratio will be 6 lakh, they have already given in the question, current assets is 6 lakh minus X divided by 4 lakh minus X. This will be what? This will be the ratio that the accountant wants, which is 2:1. So can we say that 2:1, which is 2, equals to rupees 6 lakh minus X divided by rupees 4 lakhs minus X. So when we cross multiply, we get 8 lakhs minus 2x is equal to 6 lakh minus x. So x will be 2 lakh. So the current liabilities that have to be paid is rupees 2 lakh. Now the accountant has to pay rupees 2 lakh worth of current liabilities to make sure that the level of 2:1 current ratio is maintained. So let us just do some verification. So we have received the answer, but we'll just make sure that whatever we have arrived at as answer is correct. Current assets after payment of current liabilities of rupees 2 lakh. What will be the current assets? It will be, already it was 6 lakh. Now we have repaid 2 lakh. So 2 lakh reduction in cash balance. So we'll have 4 lakh as current assets. What will be the position of current liabilities after payment of current liabilities? It will be 4 lakh minus 2 lakh, which will be 2 lakh. What will be the ratio? It is 4 lakh divided by 2 lakh, which is 2:1. So this ratio only the accountant wants to maintain. So for maintaining this ratio, he have to pay rupees 2 lakh current liabilities. I hope you all understood the problems. In the next video, we will see about the next category of ratios.